Hello! Today we're doing recommendations from Wednesday Addams. So we're going to talk about all the books Wednesday Addams talks about in the Wednesday season 1. I also have a stack of books here that I would personally recommend to Wednesday Addams. So mostly if you like Gothic horror literature or books on the dark side of life, this is the video for you. First of all, Wednesday talks about Machiavelli, and he is a political philosopher from way back. I have not read anything by this author yet, however I am really into classics. Specifically on the Gothic horror side. This is not a Gothic horror. But since Wednesday talked about it, I kind of want to read it. So I have put The Prince Beniccolo Machiavelli as an audiobook on my list. It is only 3 hours and 50 minutes, so I think that's doable to get a taste of the author at least. But unfortunately I can't tell you much about it because I have not read it. Not only Wednesday talks about Edgar Allan Poe, but also the whole Wednesday series and the Nevermore Academy specifically is based on Edgar Allan Poe. We are currently doing a readathon based on the Poe Cup. So more Edgar Allan Poe. I have read works by this author, and some are good and some are weird. So he writes two different things. One that was scientific in his days, and then ones that are really dark and gloomy. And I tend to like the dark and gloomy more. However, The Fall of the House of Usher is my absolute favorite by Edgar Allan Poe, and there isn't a story that has been coming close to that. The Black Cat was a dark one, especially there is animal abuse in it, so I just want to be very careful there. And you know, The Raven, the poem has a lot to do with the series, so I would recommend Edgar Allan Poe for that. Or Wednesday would recommend Edgar Allan Poe for that. Then her arch enemy, as well as her biggest inspiration, is Mary Shelley, mostly for Frankenstein, which I could not agree more. Frankenstein is my favorite Gothic horror of all time. Absolutely love Frankenstein to that I'm quite obsessed with it. So if you haven't read Frankenstein, I would highly recommend. But I have this letterbound that has all Mary Shelley's work in it, and I am trying to read more of her. But so far I've just read the other stories that have been on the Ghost competition, where Frankenstein has been written for. She is also talking about Agatha Christie, which is obviously the very familiar whodunit mystery. Agatha Christie mostly used poisons to kill off her victims, so I am very intrigued. I have two by her that I still want to read. More Murder in the Library and The Five Pigs one. I think Agatha Christie is a bit predictable, but I really appreciate that, you know, she is the queen of this genre and I think made this genre popular. And then the last book Wednesday mentions is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I absolutely love this Gothic classic. This is about a doctor who does experiments on himself and kind of creates two persons inside him. One is the doctor that is experimenting and one is Mr. Hyde. You know, the outcome of the experiment. And they both want very different things. And it's very intriguing. Then we're on to the stack of books that I would recommend to Wednesday. If you have read any of the books Wednesday recommends and you like them, you're probably gonna love these two. First all is Rappaccini's Daughter by Rachel Hawthorne. This is a very classic Gothic horror again. This is once again about a mad scientist. We have a team here. And he is experimenting with all kinds of poison. So much so that his daughter gets immune to the poison and gets poisonous to other people. Very excited. Then The Monk by Matthew Gregory Lewis. I've recently read this for Summerween. And although it has a very slow start, I really enjoyed the ending. This is about a monk and about lust and desire and being hypocrite and what kind of consequences that can have. But this is also an eternal debate. This is a monk, right, who is falling for lust and temptation, which obviously is very out of his fate. So there is a lot of inner dialogue coming with that. And it was interesting. And then I also got The Monstrumologist by Ricky Yancey. This is sort of a mad scientist / monster hunter kind of thing. It has very gothic horror feels, and this is a doctor with an unusual specialty, monstrumology. So he studies monsters, and therefore he lives a lot of nightmares and horrors. And what makes this the most upsetting is that we follow, we're all in the POV from the boy who was orphaned and is now his apprentice. And obviously they encounter horrifying monsters and have to deal with them. It's a very, very good one. And I think it's very underrated. Then we have another classic gothic horror, which is The Island of Dr. Moreau. If you like mad scientist, this is a good one. It's about a mad scientist that is experimenting on an island with humans as well as animals, turning humans in animals as well as turning animals in humans. It was a very good one. Then I felt Dracula could not be missing on this list. This is the original, or it's not the original vampire story actually, but I think this is the most famous one. And I struggled with this one in the first half as well as with the monks. And then the second half is really good. And I think that's typical for classic gothic horror. It's really all happening in the second half. But it was really good. And I am very glad I read it. And that one I think is less familiar, people are less familiar with, or is less popular, is Algernon Blackwood. I have read The Willows by him, really enjoyed it. And I've also read The Wendigo, which was also really good. And both I've read because of retellings of his stories. But this is typical gothic horror galore, basically. Yeah. So this is the Wednesday Addams reading list. If you want more Wednesday Addams or just the Addams Family vibes, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. This month is Nevermore-Athon and there will be loads of content around Wednesday. The next video coming up is a book recommendation list based on the Addams Family vibes. But if you can't wait, I will link my Addams Family vlog of last year down below so you can watch that and still have all the Addams Family vibes right now. If you like this video, please like, subscribe if you do not want to miss any of the Wednesday related content. Leave a comment down below what you think Wednesday would really appreciate reading. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!